We're here today with Monica Catani of New York City agency Important Steps. Important Steps offers an amazing array of services to kids who need some extra support. And I'd like to hear firsthand from Monica, who is the director, about what Important Steps does.
We provide services for children from birth to age 5. We provide evaluations and direct services such as speech therapy, special instruction, special education, itinerant teacher services. We go to the homes and we work in schools and work with families as well.
That's amazing. One of the ways that I've gotten to know the work of your agency is through something you just mentioned, a special education itinerant teacher, or a SEIT. Can you tell us a little bit more about what a SEIT is?
Absolutely. A SEIT is a trained special education teacher with a master's who goes to a child's school or home to provide support. When they're in the school setting, the goal of the SEIT is to bridge that child's ability to be most productive in the classroom, in the mainstream classroom, to be able to find the teachable moments within that classroom environment so that the child can participate as an active member of that community in the classroom. And the services at home are to assist the families in learning how to teach and play with their child and work with their child to help meet the educational goals and milestones.
That sounds excellent. I know that you're a mom.
Yes.
And you have a very young baby.
Yes.
And in fact, I know that you were up late most of the night, so we appreciate you being here today to follow through with this. So can you talk a little bit about the challenges that you face being a mom and running a busy agency?
I think that all moms and fathers, too, face the same challenge where you have to choose sometimes between, am I going to go to that meeting or make that extra phone call, or am I going to play with my child or take her to the doctor myself? Am I going to have the nanny go, or should I go? So for me, it's been very challenging because I have one, and I plan on having just one. So I want to really be part of every moment that I can. So I've had to cut back some of my private hours and on weekends, and I do sometimes have to choose. Instead of going to the gym, I'll miss her too much, so I'll stay home and make some sacrifices there. But my cell phone is always on, and she knows that my BlackBerry is something that takes her time. So very often I'll be on my BlackBerry, and she'll take it from me and stick her face up to try to make eye contact with me. And when those moments happen, I feel guilty. But I know that what I'm doing is good. I'm helping lots of children, and that really keeps me going. So,
yeah, I think it's, as a father myself, I think it's impossible to give 100% to everything all the time. So I think as a parent, it's important to realize that it's okay to not be perfect. And I think that's a hard thing sometimes to accept, especially for people like yourself who are big career parents, and it's difficult to balance the two things. So I think that's an important thing to know better how you grapple with that situation yourself. One thing I'd love to know more about is how a parent decides or becomes aware that their child might need the help of a SEIT.
So there are a few ways that parents find me, essentially, or find our agency. Sometimes it's through a preschool. We'll refer a child saying, I think there might be something going on. Let's talk about this. Maybe we can get an evaluation. And the preschools know, we have relationships with certain preschools, and they'll either call us directly or they'll have the family contact the Board of Education directly. Or a family word of mouth. They'll have a play date, and maybe one of my teachers is on that play date helping to facilitate it, and a parent will say, I think maybe my son or my younger child might need some support. How can I get this service? So, and then there's an agency called the Early Childhood Direction Center, which is a free non-for-profit program that helps families find services. And for early intervention, a family could call 311 and get hooked up into an agency to provide the services or an evaluation.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that.
And pediatricians, it's rare to get a referral from a pediatrician, unfortunately, but Personally, I've established relationships with a variety that I think through word of mouth and through certain hospitals that we're affiliated with, we've been getting much more referrals through pediatricians, which is our goal. Because they see the children and should be the ones primarily to know that there's a problem.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And there's something called a developmental pediatrician as well, right?
Absolutely.
Which deals with those specific...
Usually after the fact, a family will find a developmental pediatrician to provide an evaluation and then kind of lay out a plan. And then our goal is to evaluate the child and really assess and create a personalized program for that child.
I see. What can a parent expect to see happen when a See It is working with a child? Let's say, it becomes aware to a mother or a father that their child needs a little extra support. Let's say that, they go through the process to acquire a See It. And then let's say we're 6 months down the line, and maybe they were in a preschool program, and then they have the help of a See It in the classroom. Right. What kinds of differences can a parent expect to see in the performance of their child in the school?
Well, hopefully when you begin working with a See It, you will set out goals besides what's on the child's educational plan that the Department of Education has created, but you'll set out personal goals. What I like to start off with our families is to ask the parents what a day in your life is like, and then from really wake to evening, and then create goals from there, like if dressing is an issue or feeding or listening, cleaning up, and then kind of create goals from there, and then work with the teachers as well to create goals. So ideally, the first thing that a parent would notice is communication. They'll know if they ask their child, what did you do in school today? They'll have that answer because they'll have a teacher with them in school that is providing that answer or facilitating that answer in some way, whether through a communication book or pictures or some sort of personalized book or portfolio that's created. And then the other difference, I feel that in the beginning, I think parents, you can help to answer, but I feel like that they feel a relief that their child has somebody in school that will be watching and monitoring and really assisting in any way. And usually we see a big growth in language. That's a real spurt in a child's kind of ability to play, and then their language as well, their vocabulary tends to increase pretty quickly.
Right. I think, speaking firsthand, we saw a lot of those types of emerging improvements in our son. And also I think one of the greatest benefits for us is that he was better able to focus in the classroom. So that for us was terrific. And he's, I can personally attest after having the help of a See It for a year, our son has made tremendous improvements. And I'm very grateful for the work that you do. And, I think it's important for people to know what a huge difference a See It can make in a child's life, and what a huge difference Early Intervention and CPSE and all these other programs that are offered through the state do for a child. I think it's invaluable.
I also think, too, that parents should know that a lot of parents are fearful that their child might look different or be treated different because this person is in the room. And the ultimate goal of a See It is really to integrate themselves into the classroom. And really, my goal is when I go and do observations, or I have my supervisors go observe children, is the goal would be is when you walk in the room, you don't know who necessarily the See It is for which child.
Right.
So, or I'll ask another child, who's that? And they'll say, that's our teacher. She comes here sometimes. I don't want them to ever say that's so-and-so's teacher or it's their friend, because then our real goal is to have it be very fluid and that the See It be really part of the classroom, and ultimately teach the actual general education teachers how to work and be with that child.
Right. So. There's one other thing I'm curious about. I know that you're a child psychologist, and you said you teach at Hunter?
A school psychologist, yep. I teach at Hunter's graduate special education department as well.
That's amazing. And so you still find time to do that even in the context of being a mother?
Yes, one evening a week I do that. And I do it so that I can help train teachers
to come work for you.
That would be nice, too.
That makes sense.
But absolutely, yeah.
That's amazing.
And I love that part, too, because I really want to be able to, I feel like I can help more children that way by teaching teachers how to be teachers.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I think that you've given us a lot of great information and given us a lot of excellent information for parents who are taking a look at this video. How can people learn more about Important Steps?
We have a website. It's www.importantsteps.com, and it's pretty self-explanatory, the website.
Right.
And then also parents should know, too, that they can get services through the Department of Education website as well. Some information from that's a good website. And then one of my colleagues, Cindy Conti, will be coming. She'll give you some more information, too.
Excellent. Well, maybe we can post some of these links for parents out there who are interested and who would like to know more.
Great.
Monica, thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.